Okay, so it's 1% lower as far as the SGX is concerned. That's the indication that we have. So let's now boil this down to individual stocks that would be in the news this morning. Our research team is standing by with the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch out for this morning. Good morning to all of you folks. Happy Friday. Sonia, let me start with you. What is this IPO that we are hearing of, a Tata Motors subsidiary?
Well, it's been in the works for a while, and now finally Tata Motors subsidiary Tata Technologies, which is the IT services arm of Tata Motors, has filed the DRHP with SEBI for an IPO. So this is positive for Tata Motors monetization, and this has been the plan in the works for a while. Tata Technology has a fabulous business. It's a very strong company. Its captive clients are Jaguar Land Rover and Tata Motors. So as I said, it's the IT services arm. It's a 74% subsidiary of Tata Motors. In FY22 itself, it saw almost a 50% revenue growth. So very strong business. Now, Tata Technologies plans on selling up to 9.5 crore shares, which is about 23.6% of its paid-up capital. And Motilal, a lot of brokerages have written notes in the past. I'm just stating one of them. Motilal Oswal has ascribed a value of 25 to 47 rupees per share in Tata Motors for its stake in Tata Technologies. So it's a win-win for Tata Motors, and very strong business, by the way, Tata Technologies. So, monetizing of that asset, better for shareholders. I'm expecting the stock to be in the green today.
All right, Sonia, but, you have a couple of other names as well on the back of the Maharashtra budget and their focus on e-buses. Yesterday, I noticed, I think, a couple of those stocks, JBM Auto and all, they took off as this budget was being announced. Tell us more.
Oh, absolutely. And, I'm looking at two stocks, Olectra Greentech and JBM Auto, right? As you said, the Maharashtra budget has proposed a purchase of electric buses and a conversion of 5,000 diesel buses into LNG-run vehicles. Now, this will be, these orders will go to some of these companies like JBM Auto and Olectra Greentech. That is the expectation, so I'm going with green over there. But there are a lot of positives, Nigel, for Olectra Greentech. I chatted with the management yesterday, and they said that they are now the lowest bidder in a tender by CESL for 13,000 electric three-wheelers. So that is another avenue for them. The LOI is yet to be signed for the three-wheeler tender, but they are the lowest bidder. So in all likelihood, they will get that three-wheeler electric vehicle tender, which is an additional positive for them. Now, they're also doing some fundraising. They're doing a QIP of 800 crores within the next 1 to 2 months, out of which 400 crores will be a preferential issue to promoters. They're raising funds for a new plant in Hyderabad, which will be for manufacturing e-trucks and buses. So the demand is so good that they're putting a new plant now. There's greenfield expansion. They've already acquired 150 acres of land in Hyderabad. And this is, according to them, going to be one of the biggest electric manufacturing facilities in India. They're starting with a capacity of 5,000 e-buses, and then they will take it up to 10,000. So lots happening with Olectra Greentech. Just to put it on board, the stock has also had a, a phenomenal rally in the last couple of months.
Okay, got that. And manages to be in the headlines every time of late. 20% yesterday as well. Let's move to Mahanagar Gas, Rima. I think there was a call to explain this mega acquisition that they've done. What were the highlights?
Yes, indeed. So earlier this week, remember, Mahanagar Gas had announced the acquisition of Unison Enviro for 530 crore. Now, yesterday, the management held a call with investors. And here are the key takeaways. The acquired company targets a total volume of 1.1 million MMSCMD in the next 7 to 8 years. This compares with MGL's current volumes of 3.4 million MMSCMD. In the initial terms, remember, this is a small acquisition by way of volumes. So FY24 volumes will just be 0.15 million, while FY25 will be 0.2. CNG is going to be contributing 90% of the total volumes, and the EBITDA is largely similar to MGL's margins. But the street is quite excited about the prospects because it shows aggression on the part of MGL management, and it does boost their volume capabilities far out in the future. Nomura has raised the target price to 1,150. Citi raises it to 1,140. And Nuvama says that this is a potential re-rating event for MGL because MGL trades at a discount to IGL. So they're very bullish. They've got a buy call with a target price of 1,135. So as you can see, the target prices are all above that 1,100 rupee mark for MGL by the various brokerages. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot for that. So that's on MGL, but I mean, that entire pocket has been in focus. But let's move over to the pharmaceutical space. Lots happening there as well. Ekta is joining in this morning to talk about Natco. Ekta, what are you picking up?
Thanks for that. Well, yes, Natco is in focus because Teva came out with a release late last night where they indicated that Teva as well as Natco will be launching additional dosages of strengths of generic Revlimid, which is basically the blockbuster cancer drug that Natco had launched or was the first mover in terms of the market. Remember that the market size has come down from that $8 to $9 billion because of competition to around $2.98 billion. So they will be launching 2.5 mg as well as the 20 mg dosages of the generic version. Remember, 4 other strengths were already launched last year in March. Now the companies, all of them have settled in terms of selling certain amount of volumes up till Jan of 2026. So this should be an additional positive for Natco. It really won't be that significant because the street had anticipated it, but nonetheless, definitely a feather in their cap in terms of launching an additional 2 versions of Revlimid generic.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Ekta. Well, let's go across to Vivek. Vivek, a couple of those large trades took place yesterday and you had given us a heads up. Tell us more about it in terms of the buyers and, how do things shape up?
Well, good morning. Well, absolutely right. So 2 stocks yesterday saw very large block deals happen. So first, Gokaldas Exports, like we had indicated earlier yesterday morning. So one of the promoter entities, that is Clear Wealth Consultancy Services, sold almost 10% stake in the company. Now they have a residual, the 10.2% stake in the company. The buyers list, list of good names, marquee names coming in there. So Aditya Birla Fund, you had Ashoka India Equity Investment coming in there as well. And the Goldman Sachs ex-China Fund too has bought a significant chunk. However, going with a red on this particular name, given the fact that they continue to hold 10% stake, and the outcome of how exactly they will use that particular stake or how they will monetize it is yet to be known. On the other hand, Home First, going with the green on this name, it's a clean out trade from one of the big investors, Bessemer India Capital Holding. We had alluded to that earlier yesterday as well. And 2 important names, Fidelity Funds as well as Nomura India Mother Fund, have bought significant chunk in yesterday's block deal.
Okay, got that. Thanks, Vivek, very much for all the details on those big blocks that happened yesterday. Let's move on now. Ekta is joining in. Ekta, why are you watching out for Krishna Diagnostics?
Second time this week that I'm looking at Krishna Diagnostics, and the reason is the same. They've operationalized 100 more pathology collection centers under the BMC contract. Remember that they had won the tender in Jan 23 to provide lab investigation facility services for BMC dispensaries and hospitals in the city of Mumbai. Now, the company had earlier this week indicated that they had operationalized 100 centers, and now an additional 100 pathology centers have been operationalized. So 200 just in the span of this week. The contract is for a total of 600 centers. So I'm sure we'll hear more from the management in the next couple of weeks. But nonetheless, the stock, remember, had gone up significantly on the back of the news on Monday. So maybe we could see some amount of follow-on buying in today's trading session.
Okay, all right, Ekta, thanks for that. Well, let's wind this down then with Mangalam. He's here to tell us about the stocks in the news. Mangalam?
Well, a couple of stocks that I have today. Bank of Baroda likely to be in the green because the board of the company has approved divestment of 49% stake in their wholly owned card subsidiary, BOB Financial Solutions. So let's see how that pans out. The other one I'm watching out for is IRB Infra. A good month of traffic growth for them. Year on year, the traffic growth has come in at around 27%. Collections, that is, although they're down about 6.2% month on month. IRB Invit as well has seen February toll connections of 75.5 crores. This compares with 73.8 crores month on month and 67 crores year on year. So good going for both these stocks as well.
All right, Mangalam, thanks a lot for that. Here's a quick recap. So many stocks in focus this morning. Stocks with positive news flow. There's Tata Motors, Olectra Greentech, JBM Auto, Mahanagar Gas, Natco Pharma, Home First Finance, Krishna Diagnostics, Bank of Baroda and IRB Infra. While the only stock on our radar with negative news flow is Gokaldas Exports. We'll take a short break. Up next, we have Gurmeet Chadda, the managing partner and CIO at Complete Circle Consultants, who join in for a quick fundamental stock analysis. We will also have Lakshmipati Deen Dayalan, who is the chairman and MD at 5-Star Business Finance, to discuss an outlook on their business. Remember, Nuvama initiated coverage on the stock just a while back, a couple of days ago. Stay tuned for more on that.